my beliefs are like you can make it even if other people say you cannot make it. Like my goal, my desire is to be able to be a someone, or a recording artist who's able to serve those who struggle behind the scenes and those who lost their voices, because I know like it's so hard to speak up about what you've been through, but with having so much inner work that I've done in the past and now, I would hope that my personal development, um and my journey, my wellness journey, would help someone, and also maybe self discovery journey, help someone reach that side where they're just like, okay, now I believe in myself. Now I see my worth. Now I see my value. I'm not gonna settle for less than I deserve. And I want my music to just be a representation of everything that you could become, and that you could live out your fullest potential, no matter what. And that's what I believe in. And that's what I stand for as an artist, in the music industry, and that's what I believe in, and I'm writing on that. Like I write for the misfits. Like I write for the misfits, like people who are misunderstood. I'm just like, hey, that's me. Like I'm misunderstood all day. Like trust me, like people, things that I do as far as like work ethic and sometimes crazy hours working on my craft, but it's because I want to serve people with my music, and that's why sometimes I work harder than, not saying I work harder than everybody, but I work as hard as I can, because I'm only comparing myself to me. I'm not comparing myself to XYZ person. That's self sabotage, and I refuse to self sabotage my own career. Um, so that's what I'm saying, and what I'm learning is, as I'm learning how to take those stories, those old stories, and put them beside me and use them as fuel. Like, oh, okay, like this comment's like, okay, it's kind of like it just rolls off my back. Like it's just like, okay, but it's just a comment. Like because I used to give it so much power, and now I don't give it as much power anymore. I'm just realizing like, hey, like listen, I can be like who I'm meant to become. Like I'm meant to help people, and I have a gift for a reason. Like I didn't give myself this gift, so it's like I might as well just use it to help other people. Like I don't have like all these songs and thousands of freestyles and thousands of lyrics just to serve myself. You know what I mean? Like I mean, yes, there's gonna be times when a freestyle or a song or is meant for just me to just like you know enjoy, and that's also okay. There's gonna be songs I maybe not release because I may just be like a song for myself, and that's also okay. But I know like the majority of my music is gonna serve someone, and I know it's gonna help somebody, um, one day, and I'm trusting that it helps you. I'm trusting that it helps me heal. But I'm trusting it helps us heal together. Because um, I want people to be healed. I want people to be transformed. I want to be able to enrich the lives of other people, um, with my music, spoken word, with everything that I do, and that's my desire. And I hope that is something that you could believe in, because I believe in it, and I would hope that you believe in the same thing. And if you don't, that's okay. Um, but I also know that I have to just be firm on what I stand for and firm on my beliefs, and I cannot stray away from my beliefs because I have integrity, and I refuse to settle for beliefs that do not align with who a God wants me to be and the purpose that He called me on this earth to fulfill. Um, and that's my story. My story, it started really, in a rough place where I really loved journal writing when I was younger, and it really spoke to me where I was like, oh wow, I have this outlet to express myself through writing, and then I was kind of like just dabbling on like poetry, and I was just more intrigued by it, just how expressive poetry is, and just being able to just say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and not feel like, oh my goodness, that someone's gonna judge me, because it's personal. It's like writing, journal writing, free writing. So I was intrigued by that early on, and I'm just like, wow, this is so therapeutic for me, that I'm like, it kind of was a rush. I'm like, okay, let me just do this more and more and more, and then I just felt it was so healing. And I'm just like, oh wow, and then I started to just write, not even like rap form, but just like just write what I was feeling, and then I just started experimenting. I'm just like, oh, what about if I make this into, these words into a rap and stuff? And then I started like, putting words together, and I started like experimenting with it. But it wasn't like something I was like, oh my goodness, like, oh, I'm a rapper now. Like, it wasn't that kind of like moment for me. Some people are like, oh, they hear a song, just like, oh, I want to do this, I want to rap now because this song inspired me. My story is a little bit different, where I was more intrigued by just writing itself, just being an expression, an outlet to just like express myself, and my and express my authenticity, and that's how I kind of like started to get into the mental space of like, oh, okay, maybe I can dabble in poetry, maybe I could dabble in rap, or then I started to really hone on my craft. As far as like my writing, I would listen to stuff, and I would just, yeah, I took and it's crazy because I used to listen to a lot of rock music, like punk rock, like Blink-182, and um bands like that. And and I'm not saying that it influenced my music, but I would say that I listen to a wide scope of music: R&B, hip hop, um, pop, everything, radio and stuff like that. What really helped me develop my core um message really was, when I first started early on. Like, my message was more like braggadocious. It was more like, I have a lot of kicks. Like, I'm the most freshest person on the block. Like, I got all these haters, and nobody's better than me. It was very like arrogant. um, but that was me. So, or that was like maybe a fake version of me, another side of me. But I tell this because we all start from somewhere. We don't all start like out the womb, like ready to. I mean, sometimes it seems like ready to sing or ready to rap or whatever, and sometimes it may happen like that. But I didn't have any musical background, so it was different, um, in that regard. And I just I just found it very intriguing to be able to just express myself, and I did many times. And but I did it also in a way that was not true to who I was. I was more embracing like a hardcore thug lifestyle that I didn't live, and